started out here. We're up on private lake a friend of mine lives on. Just picked up this slob. We were catching a bunch of 2 pound, 2.5 pound bucks, and then wailed on this big piggy. Prespawn. Look at that belly, man. Woo, what a fatty. She's a slob. Anyway, we're having a lot of fun up here, and I gotta say thanks to my friend Sean for letting us come up and fish this great lake he's got. It's really fun. We're having a great time. Miserably cold, 39 degrees out. Front just came in, rain, sleet. It's nasty, but the bass is still biting.
Hey everybody, this is Brendan from BASSIN USA. You know, yesterday we went out, we had some pretty nasty weather come in. We were hoping to do a lot more filming than we were able to do. But it's a great time of year, and we were out looking for largemouth and smallmouth bass, primarily largemouths, that were moving up into staging areas before they get ready to go up into the shallow spawning flats. And one of the things I just wanted to touch on was, you know, this is really you know, an ideal area to look for bass prior to the spawn, but it's also the area they're going to pull back into when a nasty weather system comes in. So if you have a situation where you're finding fish up on a spawning flat, and then you get a nasty front comes in and it gets cold, they're going to back out to those, you know, really steeper drops and get around rock and whatever other cover's available.
Here we go. Same spot, throw back out. Looks like the big females have slid up into this pocket we're fishing off the side of a point here, sitting on the rock piles. Super awesome. That's another good one. Easy 4 pound fish. Nice fat belly though. Look at the bellies on these babies. They're all full of eggs and ready to go.
So yesterday we went after, like I said, primarily largemouth, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about what we were using. And this is one of my favorite go-to lures in the spring. This is just nothing more than a 3-inch grub. It's a Kalen style grub. It's actually an imitation, a knockoff, because it's a little bit cheaper. No offense, Kalen. Got a football head on this with just a 3/0 hook. And it's a great little bait to use in the spring. You can just throw it out on these deeper areas and just crawl this through the rocks. And what we do is just shake it through the rocky areas, and you know, you're just waiting for that little bump that you get when these fish hit in the spring a lot of times. I got this paired up. This is an Avid 6.3 medium heavy power rod. I got a Shimano Stratic 2500 MGFA reel, and I got 6 pound test Berkeley Trilene XT on here. Now I like fluorocarbons in the spring too, but when you're fishing around heavy rock and boulders like that, XT is just probably, of all the lines I found, one of the toughest lines. It's really abrasion resistant to rock, and I find that we have less problems with fish scraping up on the rocks and breaking off when using XT line. I'll just show you how I rig this up on a jig head in case you don't know how to rig up a grub on a jig. So here's what we got. I just have, these are 3/8 ounce football heads. I get these from Gopher Tackle. They make a nice little football head. You can get them with bronze hooks, or you can get them with you know, different sized nickel hooks and other things. But you know, when you're fishing around rock and stuff like that, you know, these old Eagle Claw or Mustad hooks, the bronze ones, they work fine. They got a good barb on them. You know, as long as you keep the hook point sharp and you check it, you know, you'll be fine in the spring with these types of baits. And if you're breaking off a lot in rocks, it's just a little bit, you know, more cost effective to not have to have, you know, Gamakatsu hooks on everything you're throwing. And, you know, I just find, I do like a painted head. This is particular, it's just black, but it's got a little bit of a sparkle to it. And the grubs I'm using, again, I said it's like a Kalen style 3-inch grub. This one is like a melon pepper color. It's got the black flake in it, if you can see that. And basically all you want to do when you take these grubs and rig them up, the one thing I'm kind of, you know, I like to make sure I do is when I hook this up, okay, and I got my hook here and just holding the grub by the head, I'm doing a downward shot on this because I want you to see that you need to put the hook right in, let me get this in frame here, right in the center of the bait. So the way that's going in, I want to make sure that it's going down straight through. Because the main thing you just want is to skewer this on. And this is basically, now you're just pushing this up around the hook, and as you push it, you'll see it starts to curl around the hook. I'm just going to thread this all the way up to right before the end here. There's this section of where the tail comes in. I'd say about 1/4 of an inch or so before the tail section starts, and that's where I'm going to make the hook point come out. Right there. I'm going to make it come out, and then you just push this up around the rest of the way. These have a nice hook keeper on them, a bait keeper, so you just press this down now, Okay, you firm that up, cinch that up. I give this a squeeze right where the hook keeper is, and that'll secure the bait in place. And that's it. You get a nice, compact little bait that mimics a crawfish, but the nice thing about a grub is you can also swim these, you know, and just throw them out and reel them back in, and you'll get sometimes aggressive fish that want to chase. If they're chasing bait fish, you can lift the grub up and swim it in, as opposed to just working it on the bottom like a crawfish. So grub is a, you know, it's a bait that's been around for a long, long time. You know, if you've never used a grub before, you'd be really surprised at not only the numbers of fish that you catch, but at the right times of year, you can get some really big fish on these. And this is not just a spring technique. I use grubs in the summer and in the fall. So you can really fish this all year round. So this spring, get yourself some 3-inch grubs, some football head jigs, tie them on 6-pound Test XT line, get out on those deeper areas, like I said, next to the spawning flats, and just crawl this through those rocks, and you'll be amazed at the number and size of fish you catch. It's a great technique. Give it a try. We'll see you out on the water.